Hey guys, how you doing? I'm trying to figure out how to make the camera work. This is a new process on my live stream here. So let me see here. I'm trying to figure out how to turn the camera on. This is my first time in this software, so I'm trying to figure this out. But I see a bunch of you guys here. Just be patient with me while I get my camera figured out. Save, print, create, remove. Let's see. I've got me here. Let's see here if I can figure this out. Comments. All right. I see you guys chatting over here. I guess I'll read comments while I try to figure out where this stuff is. So King Tyranno says, "Hey, Michael Brodkin. I see Cody Ray. How you doing, bro? Randy Perry, Brian Athaleta. Shout out ASJ. Let's see, Richard Stevens. Good evening, ASJ. I've got people from YouTube and Facebook on here all at the same time. I thought I had Twitter in on this too, or LinkedIn, but I'm trying to figure out how to make all this work. So, man, the page is flying. You guys are you guys are going crazy with the messages. Quick, quick. Let's see. Share screen, close tip. All right. Let me see here. We got about 150 people. So anyway, I'm not sure how to make the camera work, but I know I've got audio. So I guess I'll work with audio for the first time. So Chris Jacobson, hey ASJ, Caitlin Holder, hey, been a while. Hope you and the family are well. Vincent Mielo, via Brazil. What jewelry are you making? Well, right now the only jewelry I have out is Jason's high school ring. You can find that on my website, and that is austinstjohn.biz. I'll show you one here in a hot second. You'll see it along the bottom. But that's the only piece. Eventually, I will do jewelry for all of the Rangers, and I'll have that up on the website. You just you just haven't seen it yet, but it will be, I promise. So it'll be kind of cool, I think. And there, I just threw the website up at the bottom so you can see where that is. And probably in the next 2 or 3 days, I'm going to be completely uh, I'll be re-releasing the website. So it is going to be really awesome. I'm actually pretty excited about it because it's going to be international. So almost every known spoken language in the world, you will be able to go in, click on your language, whether it's Swahili. I literally saw Swahili in there. Whether it's Filipino, I mean, and it won't be all the languages over there because I know there's Tagalog and Trafficano, but it will be a lot of known languages, and I'm pretty excited to see how that's gonna work. That's gonna allow me to speak with even more people, and I'm kind of excited about that. So I look forward to seeing everybody there doing their thing, and being able to talk to you. I should be able. So if you guys share this with people from around the world, because there's so many fans around the world, I should be able to go in and be able to reply to you through my translator in your language. So no longer will I be stuck just in America or Canada or the UK with English speakers. I should be able to communicate so much more just on my own. So that's really what I'm hoping for, and I think that'll be pretty awesome. So let me see if I can't get back to comments. All right, here we go. So Joshua says, "Sweet, just voice, lol." I'm trying to figure out the camera, guys. For those of you who just got here, I've never used StreamYard. I've been on it for other people, but I can't figure out how to turn my camera back on. I had it on, and it disappeared. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to make it, how to turn it back on. I can tell you that the next time I do this, my camera will be on. So right now it's just voice. I apologize. That was not the point. Stop mic cam, edit audio layer, audio avatar, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna quit messing with that so I can talk to y'all. How you doing, bro? Says a few people. Chris Brown. Hey, Austin, good to see you. Uh, can you go into settings? Yeah, well, I think so. Somewhere in here. Let's see. Edit. Yep, changes. No, that's not it. But anyway, coming to New York City. I don't have anything in New York before the year is out. But in fact, I tried to get to New York Comic Con this year, and it didn't work out. So hopefully, I can do that next year. That might be crazy. And I can see some of you guys have used Streamyard. I can see you talking to me, but the messages are flying by so fast. I can't read them all that quick. But I'm looking forward to doing cool stuff with everybody, and just I think I'm going to have a lot of fun. I want to. I think I'm going to Ecuador before the year is out. That's going to be a lot of cool, or a lot of coolness. I'm going to do. I'm going to do all kinds of cool stuff. I've got one I think coming up in Mississippi here soon. I'm going to be doing another one in Dallas. At the end of this week, I'll be in Dallas on Black Friday. For those of you guys that are actually on my online store, and you guys already know about it, definitely hit me up. Go to the store on Black Friday. There will be there will be some sales. Well, it's going to be 20% off the entire store. So I've never done that before, and I'm kind of excited about it. I've got a bunch of new items up, new hoodies, new sweatshirts and stuff like that. And um, a lot of folks don't know about it yet, so I'm pretty excited about that. I also haven't done any live streaming on YouTube in a long, and I don't think I've ever done it ever live on YouTube. And I'm excited to have some YouTubers on here too. So eventually, I'll be setting up my Twitch, and I'll be streaming across all of my channels. So it's kind of my way of bringing the whole fandom together. I want to have all y'all together, and so you can see each other and know that there's more of you. And I think that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. But I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to doing a whole lot more of this. I just kind of wanted to test this tonight, see how it went. I wasn't even looking forward, or wasn't even sure how to schedule this. I wanted to schedule it for tomorrow night after I'd had some more time playing around. But somehow I managed to schedule it for this evening. So I'm not really sure how to make that work, but I'm going to do a lot more with it, get stuff scheduled so you guys have time to really kind of figure out where I am, when I'm going to be there, and cool stuff like that. How many of you guys saw Beast Morphers, the newest season I came back for? Were you guys there for that? What did you think? It was kind of a crazy thing for me. I wasn't really sure how I was going to feel about being there for that one. I was excited to come back, and I was a little, worried about what would I find. How much had it changed after, 28 years, just a minute or two. That could have been definitely a different animal. You know what I mean? But there were some great people there. Everybody there was great. I loved everybody that I got to meet. There were some really awesome people, and a few guys from back from the old days. There were a few guys there, so that was kind of cool. Um, it was just a great experience. I got the executive producer was actually there on day one when I started the show. He was a PA. He was a guy that went and got coffee, and now, or well, he was the executive producer when I was there. That's kind of the American dream. Guys are like, oh, I don't want to start at the bottom. No, well, nobody wants to start at the bottom. I definitely have in many places in my career, and I worked my way up. So that's been kind of cool. But that was great to be back for. I've got some other cool stuff coming up aside from the relaunch of my website. I'm going to eventually build a blog. Look later this week. Check out the website. You'll see some cool stuff. And if you haven't been there, you can see a lot of cool new designs now that I really haven't told the world a whole lot about. I'm going to be developing a whole new clothing line soon. Stuff that's going to be oriented towards Power Rangers. Well, not Power Rangers, but the martial artist that is at the heart of many of the Rangers. That's a lot of what we did. So I'm looking forward to having that going on. And I think it is just going to be, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking at so many of these questions here. Let's see, where do we go? Uh, word on Chicago dates. No word yet on any Chicago dates. No, not yet. Will I return in Dino Fury? No contract for that yet, but anything is possible. Shane Mitchell says he has cerebral palsy. Hey, brother, you know what? You keep up the fight. Keep fighting. You don't give up on you, then others won't either. You know what I mean? Cody Ray bears some Goldar, but stronger, bro. Yeah, Goldar Maximus, I think, was at the time. Do I miss being a Ranger? Says Christopher Kitterman. No, man. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. It's a part of me. It's in my DNA. Let's see. Do you think you would ever do DC hero? Yeah, man, I would love to do Batman. I would have so much fun doing Batman. That would just be insane. That is when I would do crazy things to make that one happen. That just would be so much fun. Mortal Kombat 2021. Somebody just asked what I think about that. I thought Mortal Kombat. I mean, I grew up playing Mortal Kombat. You know, I played it when you actually put a quarter in the machine, and I used to go down to the 7-Eleven, and that's where I played Mortal Kombat. So I definitely played Mortal Kombat. I had a lot of fun doing that. Will I ever do a Marvel movie? I would love to. You know, they haven't reached out to me lately, but if they sent me something to do a Marvel movie, man, I would eat that up. That would be amazing. Seattle. I was just in Portland. I know Amy Joe and I think Walter were at Seattle, or Amy and somebody else. So I love Seattle. It's one of my favorite shows. I'd love to come up there and do one. Let's see. Lord Zed. Let's see. St. John. Lord Zed from MMPR returned to Dino. Yeah, I saw that. Let's see. Can you say, I'm Batman? That's what somebody just asked me to say. I've quit reading the names because I'm trying to just get to the messages because they're moving so fast. But somebody asked me to say that. I've never really done it. I'm Batman. I don't know if that works. What do you guys think? Is that a decent I'm Batman? Let's see. I remember the arcades. Let's see. What is your favorite? Which is Power Ranger is your favorite and why? Hands down, it's got to be the Yellow Ranger, Trini. She was like a sister to me, and always will be. Love her. Will always love her. And I wish every day I'm on the road, and every time I'm talking to you guys out here like this, I wish Twee was, I wish Twee was with me. She was an amazing, amazing person, and she inspired tens of millions around the world in 40 countries and 90 languages, just like the rest of us. And I couldn't be more proud of everything she accomplished. Her backstory is actually insane. So Twee's backstory, Twee Trang played Trini. She came to the country in the bowels of a boat. Um, Illegally, she came to the country with her mother and a bunch of others trying to find a better life. She got here, and but not before the people in the bowels of the boat thought she was dead because she was so dehydrated. And they tried to throw her off the boat into the ocean, and her mother fought for her, and she survived. And she made it to the States, and then she learned English. And then she got her degree in engineering. Can you imagine learning English, not being familiar with the culture, the language, the people, anything about it, and then assimilating the language, going to a high level degree like engineering, getting the degree, and I mean, that just blows my mind. As far as degrees go, she was the brightest of all the actors on the show, as far as accomplished and educated went. And she was so humble and just so sweet. She was just an epic human. I loved her so much. So that's a cool story about Twee Trang. A lot of people don't know how to pronounce her first name. It's Twee. So um, looking at some other ones. I love the Red and Yellow Ranger forever. Yeah, and the Boom Comics. How many of you guys are reading Boom Comics? They're doing some really cool stuff. I love that they made Jason and Trini a thing because that's just awesome. Jimberly would have never happened if I'd had anything to do with it. It would have always been what would you call it, Tracing, I guess. So that's definitely got my vote. Let's see, lots of stuff. I loved it when the Red Ranger controlled the Dragon Zord. That was a good time. That was a good time. Let's see. This podcast got substance. That's awesome. I'm just kind of I'm figuring this out as the podcast goes on. There's going to be a lot more. I'm going to have the camera actually working. I literally downloaded StreamYard today. I've never used it before. Well, I've been on it on other people's things, but I've never been behind the scenes on it. So I had my camera up, and then I hit a button, and now all I am is an avatar. So when we do this again, you'll see me scheduling these more and more often, and you will see more camera work. So I love all the Power Rangers. And then somebody says, "Would you be?" It's gone. Uh, would you do the Gold Zeo powers again? I would love to bring back the Gold Ranger again. I had a ton of fun doing that. Gold Ranger was the most powerful Ranger ever created in the show, and they did that by taking the power of three Rangers, Trey of Triforia, and stuffing each of their powers into Jason. And they've never done that with another Ranger before or since. And it was just a wicked, wicked character. He was great. It was a lot of fun. So I would love to revive the Gold Ranger and have a blast with that. It just there's a lot of first and onlys for Jason that nobody else can claim. Tommy was never defeated by anybody but Jason. Jason didn't need body armor. He wore it once in an episode called Gung Ho because they wanted to sell Jason dolls with a Gold Ranger shield, but he never needed it. He did everything he ever did without him until he got to the Gold Ranger, and then it was just super cool. And let's see, he had five Zords. He was two Rangers, and let's see, he did Mighty Morphin. He did Turbo the movie. He did Zeo as the Gold Ranger. Jason was in Wild Force in the episode Forever Red. And then again in Beast Morphers, he came back as Jason again. So Jason's been around the block. There's been a lot done by him. Maybe 140 or 150 episodes total. And I think the season legends, the guys who've done more episodes than anybody, are Jason Narvi and Paul Schreier. Those guys are wild, man. I think they did well more than 400 plus episodes. So they're definitely the who's who of the show as far as time on the cross, if you forgive the meaning. Let's see. So what should we expect at your meetup this weekend in Dallas? It says Ayek Badayos. I hope I didn't mess up your name. You know what? I'm going to hang out, man. I'm going to hear your stories. I'll tell you my stories. I'm going to be doing autographs. I'll be taking photos with people. It'll be Black Friday, and I think the day after I'll be at a shop here in Dallas, and I'm just going to have fun, like I always do. I shoot it pretty straight. So come hear it, come be a part of it. We can share it together. That works for me, man. Let's see. Were you sad your last day on set in 1994? No, I wasn't sad. I was more than anything, I was angry. I knew that the show was paying us horribly. I wanted to help my mom get groceries and medical care, and I couldn't help her. I was sharing a house with Walter Jones, who played Zach, and two stunt guys from the show, and we were doing that to save some money. And I was mad that I didn't need to be Seinfeld making 13 million an episode. I never even asked for millions, but I would have liked for the entire cast and crew to have made enough to buy a house. We couldn't even buy a house, and so I wasn't sad on my lap. Well, I guess I was a little sad. I was sad that I had to stand my ground and potentially lose my job by walking off the show. But I also was proud of myself because I believed in what I was doing. And so did Walter, and so did Twee. We all knew that what was being done to everyone on the show was wrong. And we were the three with the courage to stand up for it. And we chose to stand up for that. And we're proud of it. Um, I wouldn't change that, not one day, not 1 second in my whole life. And, the other guys, they had their reasons for staying. And I'm not going to get into what their reasons were. Those were their reasons. But I knew there was something better out there. I see here it says somebody says David got treated like crap. He didn't when I was there. I never saw that, and I think if you watch his interviews, you'll hear him talk about it. It was later in the series, so I've heard some of the terrible stories that he's told. I can't really, I really don't want to expand too much on the horrible, horrible ones because I wasn't there for those. I was there during some horrible pranks that Jason Frank played on him, and I'll let you. Dave's done interviews where he tells those stories. I'll let him. You can go watch those interviews if you want to hear those stories. But he talks about the things that Frank did to him while we were there. Those really were the only terrible things that I actually saw. But apparently, it got so much worse later, and I'm thankful I wasn't there for that. Let's see. Reading the comics and Eltarian War Inc. It's gone. All right. Isaiah, hey buddy, Randy Perry. Not everyone knows how to spell every name possible. Well, that is absolutely true. Let's see. Austin St. John, the Red Ranger, has always been my favorite Ranger, along with being, yeah, that's kind of cool. So, all kinds of cool stuff. Let's see. Man, my cell died. Well, that is not cool. No fun. Did Trang ever talk about coming back? I think we all in our hearts would like to have come back. We would like for the owner to have treated the entire cast and crew better. It just never happened. It never came to fruition. And I think that we would love to have seen that. We would love to have watched that happen. But I'm Saban is popular amongst the higher ups in Hollywood, but anybody that's worked for him knows it's not a place where you're going to be treated as anything other than a peon that can be wiped away on the bottom of a shoe somewhere. So let's see. How was the owner of Bandai? Well, who was the owner of Bandai? I don't know if I ever met the owner. I did meet the heads of the show that actually built the toys. And funny enough, I met them again 3 or 4 years ago at New York Comic Con. There was a Bandai booth there, and I dropped by because I had heard that they were going to be there, and I just wanted to come say hi. And I met him again, and it's funny, we talk about how horrible we got paid on the show, and both of the big guys from Bandai shook my hand and said, "Thank you for helping us buy our second house." And I was like, "Well, I'm really glad that you guys made a ton of money, and I'm glad you had great success." They went on; they had great careers after the show. They did all kinds of cool stuff. And one of them is still around, and he went on to Bluefin, and they're doing great things. They're good guys. They didn't draw up the contracts for the Power Rangers. They had a contract to make toys with Haim Saban, and they did a great job. A lot of you guys owned those toys. Your moms and dads went out at Christmas and went crazy and did the toy shopping thing in the 90s when it was wild and almost impossible to get a show, so or to get a toy. So it's crazy. Have you gotten any of the Lightning collection? Somebody asked. Yeah, I have. In fact, I think I've sold out of my last one. If not, I might have one or two of the Lightning collection, red and gold, but maybe not. I'm really really running low with all the holiday shopping, so I'm low on toys, but I'll have more coming in. Hey man, Tyler Lutz, good to hear from you, brother. Tyler Lutz is a teacher here in Dallas, and I'm hoping on well, I'm going to be I think I'm in Ecuador December 4th and 5th, but I don't know if I leave on the 3rd yet. And Tyler and I'm hoping I can come and do some guest speaking at his school. He has some incredible kids there they have grown up in less than ideal circumstances and are struggling to figure out how to go from being, you know, teenage boys and girls to being men and women with honor and integrity. And Tyler's helping them do that. And I like to go speak and help them when I can. Um, let's see, another question. So, RJ, shout out. Did David Yost get bullied, which caused him to leave the show? I think that was part of why he left the show, but I would tell you, you really have to ask him in person. I'm not sure about all the reasons that he left. What was it like? Oh, man, there it went. I remember I had Dad write a letter to Bandai. Let me know how that went. I'd love to know if he got a response, hear what they said. Did they comment? Did they care? I don't even know. Let's see what happened to Zordon. Did he die? Is he still alive? No, he's still alive. His real name, Zordon's real name is David J. Fielding. And I think he just shut down his Facebook page, but he's still out and about. In fact, he might be in Dallas with me this weekend signing autographs. He's a great guy. He's a writer. He's got several books that he's written. You can find David J. Fielding or Zordon on Instagram. You should look him up. He's awesome. He's good people for sure. Um, let's see. Sold clothes. Yeah, I sell clothes. I've got some cool stuff on my website. I'm gonna have some more cool stuff over the next few months for sure. I'm gonna do stuff that's gonna be related to the moral codes in the martial arts, and I think you're gonna like some of it. Let's see. Let's see. Oh man, so many messages. I'm trying. Let's see. Returning to Australia. Will I be returning to Australia anytime soon? I've been to Adelaide, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Gold Coast, and Perth. So I would love to come back and do that for sure. I would love to go back to Australia. I had a great time out there. I went diving with great white sharks with Manu Bennett and Walter Jones, who played Zach. Manu Bennett, if you don't know him, he was in Spartacus. He's been in The Arrow. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He's a good guy. Victor Webster, who did a lot of soap opera stuff, he went shark diving with us. So and there were a couple other guys. We had a great time out there. Let's see, Austin, do you still stay in shape? I've been through a lot of surgeries and injuries, so I've been struggling with that, but I have not given up. I just got my juicer back. I'm now juicing, and I'm getting ready to go under the knife again for a torn shoulder, probably over the next few months. I'm going to hold off, I think, till after the holidays, but I'm going to have to go under the knife again and have them cut me up to fix. I have two of the four tendons of my shoulder are torn, and it is not a fun injury to say the least. So I'm going to have to get that fixed. But after that one, I'm hoping by the middle of next year, I can, after rehabilitating my shoulder, that I'll really finally be able to resume training the way I like to. Let's see, Austin, can I get a shout out from you? Burke, Serenity, Prayer Hands, Cosmic, Prayers, Austin, Jackson. What is the best part? What is the best part about filming Power Rangers? You know, it was the experience, the family, the loved ones. And I think really nowadays, one of my favorite things about the work I did on Power Rangers is that I can go anywhere in the world and I can meet fans who loved the work, who were either in love with my character or one of the other characters, but who loved the show. And the show is this unique thing they've never been able to recreate. No one else has done it. Each of the characters was either a brother figure or sister figure or a father figure or someone to be looked up to in some sort of role model way. And we captured the hearts and minds, my castmates and I, and so many after, captured the hearts and minds of so many kids in some way or another. There was someone that each of you or one of you or many of you wanted to be like or emulate or be proud of. And I think what I enjoy most about the show today is meeting the majority of you as adults and hearing your stories. Some of you grew up in terrible homes, and that was your 30 minutes of peace that, you weren't having terrible times. Others of you grew up having amazing lives, and the whole family sat down and watched together. Others of you weren't allowed to watch the show and ran next door and watched with the neighbors. And I mean, there's so many stories I've heard, and it doesn't matter where I go to get them. So I love hearing it. It is awesome. It is so cool. And I thank all of you so much for so many years later remembering and taking the time to share with each of us what it is that about what we did that's important with you. It's just, I don't know how many other shows get that, Star Wars, Star Trek, maybe, but not a whole lot with 28 years of fans. And now you guys, some of you come to the table with your little ones and you're watching with your little ones and you'll have your grandparents there. So sometimes there's 3 generations standing at my table to get an autograph and I'm not sure who I'm supposed to be talking to. I'm like, holy cow. And everybody remembers and everybody's telling stories as a family. And that is just insane to me. So somebody asked, what are you doing now? Some of the stuff that I'm doing now, I am executive producing a video game called Black Salt Corruption. You can find that on Steam right now. And it's spelled different. Yes. So it's CORE option, Black Salt Corruption. And there's a short film out on the internet you can find. And hopefully we'll be doing the full-length feature film next year, which is not far away. And I have a character in the game that is is pretty awesome. I'm not even going to tell you. Just go check it out. I'm hoping early next year, now that people are coming back to work in Japan, I think Nintendo's letting their employees back from the virus, that we can finally get the video game finished and released. We will drop on Nintendo first, even though we're now on Steam. We'll be on Nintendo first, and then we'll drop on Xbox and PlayStation. And of course, we had a 2-year hiatus because of the vid. The vid shut down the world. So that's one of the things I'm doing. I am really looking into so many other ways to be in communication with the fans. I'm looking at blogs. Now I have a live stream network that you guys are literally a part of the first experiment of. That will be eventually built into my website. There will be blogs. I'm going to expand my jewelry line. I just released a film I did with John Schneider. Well, John just released it. He asked me to come in and play one of the leading roles. It's called Tres Leches, and you can find it at John Schneider Studios. It's on Cineflex. So if you just Google Tres Leches, John Schneider, Cineflex Studios or Cineflex, something like that will pop up. Or you can go to John Schneider Studios and you can find the film. It is a rated R film. I play a super stupid Southern cop who is trying to track down a teenage boy that slept with my wife. And as dumb as the teenage boys are, my character is even more dumb. So it is not for the littles in the house, but it is funny if you want to watch a rated R comedy. I did another film called Monsters at Large, just a quick pop in, where I play a dad, literally in the film, of some teenage boys who are getting monsters out of closets of other children in the neighborhood. You can find Monsters at Large. That's on Amazon. I just did another film called A Walk with Grace. You can find that on Amazon. It's a dramedy. So with that one, I play a wrestling coach with PTSD from the war who is kind of the conscience of the lead character and of the town. I kind of through a little bit of, well, through a whole lot of anger in the beginning of the film, kind of get people into doing what's right. And so I did that one. I did a TV series called Fireball Run. I did season 11, and that was called Big Country. Season 11, Big Country. Each season stands alone. They're all independent seasons, so there's no connection. But if you like cars and historical facts and just cool stuff, like at one point I've got a sniper rifle in my hand, a custom built 6mm rifle that they didn't think I could shoot, and I did. And just lots of other cool stuff: drag racing, plane flying, cool stuff. Season 11, Big Country, Fireball Run. I did another one. What was the other one I did? I can't even think of what it was now. It'll come to me. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that I have going on. And what's the other one? I'm working with a charity right now that is called Autism Power. And we are looking to work with probably 13, 14-year-old and up with people who are neurologically diverse on the spectrum. We're going to give them jobs and get them paid like real people, not like people who aren't capable of other things. We're going to treat them real. We're going to pay them real. We're going to give them job skills. And we're going to start in greenhouses. And we're going to raise organic foods to sell to local markets and elevate people's lifestyles and elevate people on the spectrum's ability to take care of themselves. And we're pretty damn proud of that. So anyway, those are some of the things I've done: Monsters at Large, A Walk with Grace, Black Salt Corruption, Tres Leches, Fireball Run, Autism Power, the jewelry line, the clothing line, my website. I'm sure there's 30 things I've forgotten because I have my hands in so much. But just know that you'll see more of these notices. I will have more of these up. The camera will be running when I come back. Don't forget this Black Friday, I'm going to have 20% off on the website. So be ready to hit that hard, and share it with everybody, because they will be able to come in their languages and do whatever they need to do in their own language. And that should be running by the end of this week, if not earlier. I'm hoping in the next couple of days. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I love you all. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and thank you for loving the show. Much love. God bless.